everyone. Welcome to De Montfort University Credibility Assessment session, and thank you for taking the time to attend this session today. So, my name is Anna Pushpam. I'm the International Officer at De Montfort University, and I'm also an alumni from DMU. So, today I'll walk you through everything that you need to know about credibility assessment, also known as credibility interviews. And this session is designed for all students, to be honest, whether you have applied for your course, waiting for your offer letter, or even if you have received your offer letter and you're preparing to take your credibility assessment, or even considering to apply at De Montfort University. So this presentation is divided into 4 segments. Firstly, I'll talk about the brief about what is credibility assessment and then why it is important, followed by the key areas in the assessment and how you need to book your assessment and reschedule them. And towards the end, we also have a brief on international registration process. So this structured flow will actually help you understand the stages of credibility assessment more clearly. And please keep your questions towards the end of the session, so you can also post them in the comments box because we have a separate Q&A session towards the end of this presentation. All right, so by the end of this presentation, you will also know why credibility assessments are required, what you need to expect from them, and how you need to prepare yourself for these sessions, and what common mistakes to avoid in them actually. All right, so we'll get started. Right. So what is credibility assessment? These are nothing but they are very short online interviews. They are normally held on Microsoft Teams, which will run about 25 to 30 minutes. And this is actually a chance for students to voice out their reasons and help us understand your genuine intention to study in the UK. So why do we say it is important? The reason being, credibility assessment also plays a role in confirming your eligibility for a CAS, which is the confirmation of acceptance studies, which is needed for your visa application. Right, so you might have already given your statement of purpose when you're applying for your offer letter at DMU. So you would have already mentioned why you're choosing this course, what your future plans are, why you selected De Montfort University, and why UK specifically. So this is actually a chance for you to give all those reasons directly to a representative from DMU. So these are nothing out of script or anything that you're not prepared of. These are already reasons or comments which you have given on your statement of purpose. All right, so it's just a short interview for you to voice out all those reasons to us directly in person, right? Right. So again, why do we say it is important and why it is a part of your credibility assessment process? Because during your assessment, you're going to confirm your academic motivation when talking about your course and future plans. And this will also help you understand what course you have chosen, how it is going to benefit your future plans as well. So this will also ensure why you want to study in the UK and DMU specifically, because the questions in these assessments are designed for students, which is relevant to the statement of purpose you have provided during your application process. So this is going to help you understand why you're choosing the university, the country, or even the course, which in return going to help the university understands the reason more clearly. Okay. And it is also going to check your financial readiness to support your tuition fees as well as your living cost in the UK. So this is a way that we ensure that the students arriving at De Montfort University are more prepared, confident, and they are able to succeed academically and also financially. Okay, so how it is going to help your visa application process? This will help reduce the risk in your visa application when there is an inconsistency or lack of clarity on your visa application process. This is where credibility assessment is going to be helpful for you, because during your credibility assessment process, you're going to research about the course, your future plans, as well as the funds which is needed for your course and your living expense. So when you do not have sufficient funds, for example, the interviewer or the university will let you know that your funds are shortage, you cannot proceed further with the CAS, and hence you cannot apply for a visa. So our goal is help you succeed in the visa application, and CA is just one way that we support with that process. Great. So I know that some of you might have questions like, when do you have to give your credibility assessment? Does it have to be before your offer letter or after you receive your CAS? So to answer that, your CA will take place right after you receive your offer letter from De Montfort and you make your initial deposit. So the initial deposit is going to vary anywhere between 1,000 to 2,000 pounds. Okay, so this is just an initial deposit for you to secure your seat at the university. And once you have made your deposit, you would be sharing your offer letter along with your payment receipt to the regional team, and they would send it back to the credibility assessment team, and you will be invited for your assessment. Okay, so this happens anywhere between you receive your offer letter and before you apply for your CAS at the university. Okay, so also just bear in mind that it is important to take your CA as early as possible, just to avoid any delay in your process or even getting your CAS and applying for your visa in time. Okay. So regarding the timeline for this, say, for example, if you have made the deposit today, you can expect your invitation to be sent out within 3 to 5 working days. Okay, so it depends on when you're sharing your payment receipt and your offer letter to the regional team. Once that is done, please allow 3 to 5 working days for us to send the invitation to you. All right. Right. So moving on to the format and setup of the credibility assessment. So if you have been half listening up till this point, then that is fine. So I would need you to listen from here very carefully, because we are going to discuss about the format and setup of your assessment, the key areas, what questions you can expect in these sessions, and also how to book and reschedule your sessions. Okay. So to begin with, like I said before, these are just very short interviews which will happen on Microsoft Teams. They will run about 25 to 30 minutes, okay? So all these sessions are recorded on our end. This is because we need to maintain quality and accuracy. And recording is also going to help the university and the CA team to review your answers and also to fairly make a decision on your session, okay? And this would also help us comply with the UKVI expectation as well. So as a sponsor, we need to keep evidence of the credibility checks that we conduct. And this is going to help us review your sessions. And at times the UKVI officer might want to see your recording when you have applied for your visa. So I'm not saying that this happens as a process, but say if there are any concerns on your visa application, the UKVI officer might want to see your credibility interview with that university. So for that reasons, we always record these sessions on our end as well. Okay, and you must always keep your camera on throughout the session. Okay, so and also please ensure you're giving your session from a quiet environment. So when I say quiet environment, try and avoid any public areas. So we don't want you to give your session sitting in a park or hotels or restaurants, because you could be easily distracted in those public areas. It is better you give these sessions in a separate room, a private room, isolate yourself and avoid any external distractions. Okay, and you might also be asked to show 360-degree view of your room where you're giving your session from. This is because in the past we have had issues with students trying to get external help and also trying to read from scripts and notes around them, which we do not want. So that's the reason you might be asked to show a 360-degree view of your room as well. And it is important that you have your original passport with you during these sessions, because we will need to confirm your identity and also verify your passport details. So please ensure you have your original passport with you during these sessions. If you're aware that your passport, you have applied for your visa, or your passport has gone to submitted in the visa office, then please let your regional team know. I would be posting the regional team email addresses at the end of this presentation. You can always email and let them know the reason that you do not have your original passport. Then we can help you reschedule your session. Okay, we cannot conduct your sessions if you don't have your original passport. No copies or printouts will be allowed in these sessions. So it is important you have your original passport with you during these sessions. And please ensure you have a stable internet connection as well. The reason being, students might be from rural areas and they might have difficulties in getting a stable internet connection. Well, in that case, please reach out to your agent as soon as possible, because agents can arrange these from their office and they can ensure proper internet connections can be provided to you. Okay, so like I said before, we verify your passport, conduct identity check, and if the quality of your video or your internet is not good, then that is going to impact your interview performance. So to try and avoid that, please get in touch with your agents and sort your internet access or quality before your sessions. Okay, and also please ensure to join your sessions at least 5-10 minutes early, so that you can test your internet connection, your audio settings, and the overall setup. Please allow a good 10 to 15 minutes before your actual credibility assessment. Okay, so this will also reduce any delays and ensures you begin your assessment smoothly. All right, great. So regarding the visa rejections, so if you're a student who already have any issues with your immigration or any refusals, it is important for you to share these documents with the credibility assessment team. So like I said, I would be posting the email addresses towards the end of this session. So please make a note of it. You can always email a copy of your visa refusal letter to us, or you can send it through your regional team as well. So why it is important for you to send the visa document to us? Because before you appear for your credibility assessment, we can run an immigration check on the visa refusal letter and clarify any questions that we might have on your refusal during this session and take a decision then and there. Okay, so to try and avoid these, please ensure to share these documents with us. And it is also important for you to disclose any issues with your immigration to the interviewers. Okay, so we can always run a background check on your immigration. So please ensure you keep the interviewer informed of whatever situation that is with your immigration. All right, and please be aware of the reasons why your previous visa was rejected. All right, so they might be asking why it was rejected, what sort of visa was it, which country did you apply. So be ready and prepared to answer all these questions on your visa rejection. Right, so now we'll move on to the key areas in the session. So as you can see, all these questions would have already been asked in your statement of purpose. There is only funding, which is new, that we ask in the credibility assessment. The rest of the areas are already something you would be filling out in your statement of purpose. That is why it is important for you to know which course you're applying, what is the reason you have stated in your statement of purpose, and also about your future plans, your funding, the education gaps, and everything. Okay, so firstly, to talk about the finance and fundings, we would be having questions about your sponsorship, who is sponsoring for your studies, what is their annual income, how much they have saved for your studies. This is because we are trying to check if you have sufficient funds to support your studies and living in the UK. All right, so the interviewer might also clarify if there are any shortage of funds. Okay, so as per UKVI, if you're aware, the living expense for London and Leicester are going to be different. Leicester is going to be relatively less. So be aware of the exact figures on this, because the interviewer will also calculate your tuition fees and your living expense and make sure that you have enough in total to support your studies in the UK. All right, and when talking about your course, please ensure that you have done proper research on the course structure. It is important for you to know your modules, okay, and also about the credits and hours that you would be completing in that course. Okay, so why do I say it is important? For anyone who's applying in a different country should know what they are going to study, and also should know if that is the right course for them, right? So you might have different future plans. So for example, a student who is wanting to build a career in cybersecurity cannot be doing a course in global MBA, right? So this is where the interviewer will have extra questions to clarify if you have selected the right course for you. Okay, so these could be a random guidance from your parents or your friends or from your agent, but the interviewer will be strict enough to ensure that the course and the future plans align and they go hand in hand. Okay, we also ensure if you have chosen the right course to support your future plans. So it is important for you to research on the modules. Please be aware of what you're going to study, how the module is structured. All these details can be found on the DMU course webpage. Okay, so do proper research before you appear for your credibility assessment. And talking about the reason for why you chose DMU and UK. So if you're someone who have compared with different universities, you can always state that, list the universities you compared and talk about the reasons why you chose DMU over the other universities. Okay, it is also important for you to research on the facilities DMU is offering for international students, and also not just your answers don't have to be restricted just for DMU. You can even talk about the city and why you chose DMU in that city. Okay, so just be aware that DMU have two different campuses in the UK. One is in Leicester, another one is in London. Okay, the reason I have highlighted in this session is because we have had cases in the past where a student was holding an offer letter for DMU London, but ended up talking about university facilities or rankings of DMU Leicester campus. All right. So this is going to raise concerns on your credibility in your session. If you're not aware of which campus you're going to study, then the offer letter that you're holding is going to be for a different campus, and you're not going to expect the same course to be available in that campus. Okay, so that is the reason it is important for you to select the appropriate campus and course as per your need, as well as for your future plans. Ensure all aligns and go hand in hand. And talking about your accommodation plans again, so if you're someone who has selected your university in Leicester, ensure that you do your accommodation research on Leicester City. Okay, so as you're aware, there are 7 halls of residence within DMU Leicester campus, and all these details are on the website for you. The interviewer will be asking about the rent, the name of the accommodation, how far it is from campus, and also what are your daily travel plans, including the facilities that the property is offering you. So why we ask these questions? Because it is important for you to know where you're going to be living during your studies, how you're going to manage your daily commute for your classes from your accommodation. So please ensure to do proper research on the accommodations that you're planning to stay. You don't have to book your accommodation at credibility assessment stage, but you will have to do your research before you appear for your assessment. Even if you're not aware of the name of the accommodation, that's fine, but at least have an estimate of the rent that you will be paying in that accommodation, and also how far it is going to lie from the campus, because you are going to travel for your classes. So you should be aware of the distance and how you're going to commute to your classes as well. And moving to future plans. So again, they would be asking if you have chosen the right course and how do you think the course is going to help you achieve your career aspirations. And you need to be aware of the responsibilities that you will be handling in that role. And also you can talk about the companies or industries that you have shortlisted to apply once you complete your course. Okay, and regarding education gap, so we align with admissions education gap criteria. So for PG, it is going to be 5 years, and for UG, it is going to be 2 years. So if you're someone applying for a PG course, but have more than 5 years of education gap in your studies. So when I say education gap, you might have last completed your bachelor course in 2020, and you might be someone who's applying for your course now in 2025. So that's 5 years of education gap. You may also be working during that period, but just say for the academic purpose, that's the 5 years education gap that you're going to have, and the interviewer is going to be having questions on your gap. So if you have been working, then fine. Please let the interviewer know that you have been working after your last study. You have been gaining experience, and you can also link if it is relevant to the course that you have applied. For example, if you're someone who have applied for computing program and say you have had computing experience as a software developer, you can always say that you have been working for the last 5 years, gaining the skills and experience, and now that you feel that there is a lack of skills or knowledge in certain areas, that is the reason you want to return back to studies. So these could be any cases as well. You could be someone who's taking a break from studies for 5 years, and then you might have decided to rejoin your studies. Well, in that case, again, justify what you have been doing in those 5 years and why you have returned to your studies now. Okay, so again, I'm echoing my previous comment. It is important for you to know the difference between the London campus and Leicester campus. The facilities, course options, support, everything is going to be different for these two campuses. So please check your offer letter before you book your sessions and ensure you're doing a proper research on the appropriate campus. All right. Right. So to move on to what we expect from you, we don't want you to follow any scripts during your session. We want genuine answers from you. You could always relate your personal experience in your answers, okay? You don't have to follow any scripts or notes or use any AI tools for these. You're just going to echo the points, whatever that you have decided on, and then let us know the reasons. Okay, don't follow any scripts for these sessions. Ensure that all these answers that you're giving are honest answers as per your research. Okay, so again, when talking about the campus, ensure that you talk about the facilities, talk about the student support services, and also about the city as well. So we often see students preparing for Leicester campus talk about London, or it's vice versa. Since DMU Leicester campus is the main campus, when you check on the DMU campus facilities, it is going to bring up the campus of Leicester. But please be sure to do your research on the appropriate website. So there are different websites for DMU London and different one for DMU Leicester. So please carry out your research on the correct link. Right, and and to move to your personal background and your future plans, like I said, you can always connect with your personal experience when you're trying to justify your education gap as well. And when you're talking about your course, try to mention the course modules, the facilities, and also the reason for selecting a specific country. Reason for selecting a specific city. So you could be someone who chooses a student-friendly city. That is why you could have been applying for Leicester campus, or you prefer a metropolitan city or a busy city. You want the exposure of industries and IT companies. So you could be someone choosing the London campus. Whatever the reason is, please let the interviewer know. So the one takeaway from this session, there is no correct or wrong answer in the credibility assessments. It's just your answers. All right, so we want the genuine answers. So please don't follow any scripts. Speak confidently. Ensure to give 10 to 15 minutes before your session so that you can relax. You can have a note on your session, but you cannot be referring them to the throughout your session. Okay, so have a pointers note. Bullet pointers would be good enough. Before your session, have a quick glimpse of what you need to talk on each of the sections, and then you can just leave the script behind. I'll tell you why we don't want the scripted answers shortly. Okay, so I have a separate slide showing you why you need to avoid scripted answers. All right, so this is what we expect from you. So be you and ensure that it is all genuine answers and the answers are as per your research and not any scripts that your friends or your family or even your agents have given you. Okay. Great. So this is what I was talking about. So this is something we do not want in the credibility assessment. So I have highlighted the reason we never advise a student to prepare a note or a script for their session. Okay. So because there might be different questions from the interviewer and you would be someone just sitting there with your script. And when there is some unexpected question, you might just go blank. So that is the reason we never advise students to follow any scripts. So try to listen to the questions carefully. So those questions are just going to come from the key areas that I showed you. They could be asking about the modules, the facilities, the location, the city life. Try to listen to the question and answer them. So that is why I said it is best for you to have bullet points when you're preparing for the session rather than preparing the entire script. It is going to be difficult for you to follow the script when there is an unexpected question in the session. All right, so it is not necessary to follow any scripts during this session. So try to leave your scripts behind, and it is you that we want in these sessions to talk freely, whatever the answer, whatever research that you have done, please let the interviewer know based on that. Okay, so if you have not done research on one particular question, you can always let them know that you have not carried out the research. This is what you know from the website, and can they tell a little more about it. The interviewers are very friendly and they also advise you on any changes that you need to make or any information that you need to be aware before you apply for your visa. Okay, so answering these questions naturally is very important. So these are all some things that I have highlighted on the slides here, and take the script as a tool rather than you following it as a guide throughout. Okay, so make it as a pointers rather than just having it on your screen and reading it throughout your session. Okay, so that is how you need to prepare yourself for these sessions. So we never advise you to follow any scripts for these sessions. Okay. Right, and a few more things to avoid in the credibility assessments. Please do not let someone else speak for you. Okay, in the past, we have had students asking their friends or be it their agents giving their interview on their behalf. This is not a credible student, right? So, to ensure that you're a credible student applying, it should be you who is appearing and taking these sessions. Okay, we the reason I say this, we always double check in the background. We check your passports and also we conduct additional ID verifications as well, so when needed. Okay, so please try and avoid someone else giving your session to the university. Okay, this is going to create a red mark on you in the future applications with the university as well. So please try and avoid these things. And the second thing here is, again, please do not read from any notes or screen from the screen. And we have seen students using AI tools to give their answers as well. So please try and avoid these things. Our interviewers and assessors are more skilled and they can easily spot these scripted answers. To be fair, imagine it is hundreds of students they are interviewing, and it would be you might be thinking it's a separate script and it is just you that is following the script. Well, it's not the case. So for example, your agents or friend might be circulating the scripts to the third parties as well, and the other student might be receiving the same script, and you all might be end up preparing with the same script and giving the same answers in the sessions, which is quite not credible, and the interviewers can easily spot these out, and this going to have a negative impact on your sessions. Okay, and don't use the AI tools as well. We have seen in the past many AI software malfunction. This would in return flag to the interviewer. As I said, these are being recorded sessions. Whatever that you're doing on your end will also be captured, and this would flag us on our end as well, which is again going to negatively impact your credibility. So these are all the consequences. You will be unsuccessful in the assessment, your offer will be withdrawn, you would be rejected, and your CAS will be refused as well. So I don't think any student would want this. So try and avoid all these things. These are some common misunderstanding as well as mistakes that the students make in the assessment. They think these things as just a process and they just want to get over it. But we are giving you this chance to voice out your reasons and tell us how genuine and credible you are. Okay, so let's try and avoid all these things. An important thing to note here. So if you have been rejected in your credibility session, so that will not have any sort of impact on your visa application. So that is the reason the universities have these credibility assessment. This is checked within the university as a part of your application and CAS process, but this will not have any sort of impact on your visa application. So you will always be welcome to reapply in the upcoming intakes. But if you're someone who's rejected on these clauses, then it might have a negative impact on you getting an offer letter from the university. Okay, they might have to reconsider your case, see why your previous credibility was rejected, and then take a decision if you will be allowed to rebook or not. Okay, so try and avoid these things. These are important things as we see as a common occurrence in the recent intakes. Okay, great. Now, moving on to booking and rescheduling your credibility assessment. I think there are students joining from different part of the world. So the reschedule and booking process are quite straightforward. So if you're a student from India, Sri Lanka, or rest of South Asia, so your invites will be sent to your agent. So the reason being, they are totally responsible for your admission at DMU, and they are the one who are looking after your bookings. Okay, so for other students, if you're a direct student at DMU, then the invite will go directly to your email ID. Okay, so right here you can see how the template looks like. So once you receive your booking invitation, you would see a link for you to take you to the booking page. Once you click on that, you would see different services being mentioned on the booking page. So there are 4 different services, one for India and Sri Lanka, second one is for rest of South Asia. So when I say rest of South Asia, it's going to be Pakistan, Bangladesh, Nepal, Bhutan, and so on. And the third link is going to be for rest of the world, and the fourth link is going to be for Africa. All right, so please ensure you're making the booking in the appropriate service link. So if you're a student from rest of South Asia and you end up booking on the rest of the world, then your credibility assessment will be cancelled and you will be asked to make a new booking. Okay, so please try and select the correct service linked when you're booking your credibility assessment. And then once you click on the service link, correct service link, it will show you a pop-up with a calendar and date and time. You can select the time whichever suits you. Okay, and then you can click on book. So there are going to be a few questions on the booking form for you. This is just for us to check if the courses matches as per your offer letter, and it is going to ask for a few details regarding your visa refusals. If in case you will have to disclose all these information on the booking form, so that during your assessment the interviewer can see these details and clarify any questions that they might have in relevance to the answers. Okay, so again, I'm just saying that students from India and Sri Lanka and rest of South Asia, all these will be managed by your agents as they are solely responsible for this process. So if you want to change your slot or change to a different date, please always reach out to your agents in first instance. Okay, so they are responsible for handling all of this. Right. So when you need to reschedule, the process is going to be the same. Once you complete your booking, you would get a booking confirmation email, which is similar to this, and you would see an option to reschedule. When you click on the reschedule option, it is going to direct you to the reschedule page where you can see options like create a new booking, cancel, or reschedule. Okay, so never make a new booking when you're planning to reschedule your assessment. Okay, always try to click on reschedule option or cancel booking. Okay, so having said that, DMU allows you 24 hours period for rescheduling and cancellation. If it is anything after that, please reach out to your agent, let them know why you are wanting to reschedule your session. Because for students coming from rest of South Asia, for example, students from Pakistan, Bangladesh, Nepal, your agent will have to complete a reschedule request form in order for you to get a different slot. Okay, so it is important you reach out to your agent in first instance if you feel like you need to reschedule your session, so that they can complete the form, send it to the regional team, get it approved, and then you can reschedule your booking. Okay, so if you do not follow this process and end up rescheduling on the same link, then it will be cancelled in the system. Okay, so for students from rest of South Asia, if you want to reschedule, there is a different process. Try and get in touch with your agent. They will be completing the reschedule request form, and then once it is approved, we will allow your rebooking. So for other students, it is going to be a simpler process. Just click on the reschedule option, and then you can reschedule it if it is before 24 hours. If it is anytime after 24 hours, you can directly email to DMU International, giving your reason why you wish to reschedule your session. Okay, and that way we can cancel your previous booking and allow your rebooking in the system. All right. Right. So this is just a sample outcome letter. Say you have completed your credibility assessment and you're waiting for your offer. You're waiting for your outcome letter. This is a sample outcome letter. All details will be mentioned on your outcome letter. So, for example, the next step is for you to pay your 50% deposit and then apply for your cash, right? So we would set out all these information on the outcome letter. So please ensure to go through the outcome letter carefully and ensure all the documents listed here on the past letter is being sent to the respective email ID for your CAS application. Okay, we will also include the regional team email address for you in the outcome letter where you need to send your CAS documents. All right, so once all that is completed, then you will receive your CAS letter from the university. So talking about the negative side of things, so your fail letter would list out the reasons why you have failed the assessment. Please don't take these as setbacks. What I would advise is please go through the reason why your CA was rejected and then reapply in the upcoming intakes. It is just us letting you know that listen, you have done your research on these areas. We feel that your research on these certain areas lack clarity, or you need additional funds, or you need to do more research on the course or DMU or UK. So these are just a direct communication with you that you're still not ready to apply for your visa. Go back, do your research, know what you're going to study in this country, and then come back and reapply with us. Okay, so I know that I'm going to have questions regarding the second chance. We do not allow second chance at the minute because we always, like I said, we always have different level of checks happening once you complete these credibility assessment. So if you feel that the student has not clarified the funds or not clarified on DMU, we will always arrange a call back with you before failing you on the credibility assessment with the lack of information. Okay, so that is the reason we do not give a second chance at this point. Alternate to that, we always arrange a call back after your credibility assessment to clarify any missing information from your previous session, and then carry out making a decision based on the callback. Okay, please do not worry that this might have an impact on your visa application. Well, it will not. It is just us letting you know that you need to carry your research well before you apply for your visa. Okay, so never take these fails as a setback. And for second chances, it is not required at the moment, since we arrange callback with students directly to clarify this. Even in the callbacks, if you're not able to justify the answers or elaborate more on the questions, we might then just give a rejection saying you that you need to do further research on it. So always look out for email communication from us. Even on the callbacks, we give clarity on what questions you will be expecting in those callbacks. So for example, if it is a student who hasn't clarified their fundings properly in their first session, we would arrange a callback stating that, hey, you have completed your session and we need a call back to clarify your funds. Well, this is a cue tip for you to research on your funds and see that you have sufficient saved in your account to support your studies and living. All right. Great. So, talking about your international registration process, so that's it for the credibility assessment part. Once you have completed your credibility assessment, you can proceed and apply for your CAS. And once you have received your CAS, you would receive a pre-registration online link from the university. Okay, there would be a set of questions for you. You need to complete that. We would ask about your accommodation plans. So by then you would have already booked your accommodation. So please ensure to mention UK address when you're booking your pre-registration through the online. Okay. And you would also be booking your second appointment, which is your face-to-face appointment in that. And once you have done that, you would make your travel, book your flight tickets, and then arrive in the UK. And for your face-to-face, we will need you to have your original passport as well as your boarding pass. Okay, in the past we used to have visas on your passport, but since last year we do not have any of that in place. So please ensure to bring your boarding pass or your flight ticket along with you when you come for face-to-face registration. Okay, don't forget your passport. I'm saying this again because passport is very important during the face-to-face registration as well. So you would be given a chance to book your appointment once you have completed your online registration. Okay, so for example, if you're someone who doesn't have your boarding pass, you have missed it, or if you don't have a flight ticket, you might always have a copy in your mobile phone of your flight ticket. So that is fine. If you don't have a hard copy of your boarding pass or your flight ticket, you can have the soft copy, but please ensure to have your original passport with you, okay, when you come for your face-to-face registration. Right. So I think that brings us to the end of the session. And these are the email IDs for the regional team as well as the credibility interview team's email address. So please make a note of this when you have completed your assessment, when you're making the deposit. This is where you will be sending your payment receipts and your offer letter. Okay, so the regional team are the first 4 email IDs for each of the regions, and the last one is the credibility assessment team email ID. If you want to reschedule, if you know that you have had a visa refusal, if you're sharing a copy, then DMU international at dmu.ac.uk is where you need to be emailing all those documents to. All right. Right. Talking about the key dates for the credibility, for the February 2026 intake, I would not be able to direct this to the link, but we will be posting it on the chat box for you. So you can clearly see that when is the deadline for your application, when is the deadline for you to send the conditional documents, and when is the last date for CA and for your registration as well. So currently 21st December 2025 is the last date for your credibility assessment. Okay, so it is important for you to book your sessions as early as possible to avoid any delays in your visa process. Okay, so 21st December is the current deadline that we have for credibility assessment. This might also be extended till 9th of January, but as of now, we are sticking with 21st of December. So if you're someone who have your offer letter and you're deciding to make your deposit or you've made your deposit, please proceed and book your credibility assessment. If you have not received the invite, please reach out to the regional team. Please contact them with the email addresses here, attach your payment receipt and your offer letter, and let them know that you are ready for your credibility assessment. Okay, currently we have slots available until 21st of December, because the university might be closed for Christmas break. Although we would be open for credibility assessment during the Christmas break as well, but the slots will be limited until 5th of January. Okay, so you can proceed, share your payment receipt and your offer letter with your regional team and still book your slot over the Christmas break. Right. So that brings us to the Q&A session now. Okay, so I can see there are a lot of questions in the chat box. So someone has asked, I have applied for my CAS on 18, but I haven't received it yet. How long will it take to issue the CAS? Great, so you have completed your credibility assessment, so congratulations. So if you're someone who have applied and waiting for your CAS, please check if your region needs a credibility assessment and if you have completed that. And the turnaround time for your CAS letter, ideally this is a question for the admissions department. What I would advise is write an email to admissions@dmu.ac.uk, and they would be happy to help you with your query. But usually it takes about 10 working days for you to receive your CAS letter if you have applied. And if there are any missing documents on your CAS letter, they would usually get in touch with you on your email. So please make sure to check your email inbox as well. Right. And the second question, I paid the initial deposit. When will the CAS interviews take place? Great that you have paid your initial deposit. Like I said, please share your payment receipt along with your offer letter to the regional email IDs I have shared earlier. And once you share that, within 3 to 5 working days, you should receive an invitation for the credibility assessment. Right, so I'm from Kenya. Do I need to do a credibility assessment? So, well, yeah, if you're from Kenya, you will also need to give your credibility assessment. So you would have the same process. So if you have received your offer letter and made your deposit, please ensure to share it with your regional team, and they would help you to get your assessment booked as soon as possible. So in my offer letter, I cannot obtain 5 in the IELTS test. What options can the university now offer so I can study master's program? Well, great. So DMU does offer waiver based on your 12th English mark as well. Having said that, please check which region are you from and also clarify if that is a condition on your offer letter, and then you will have to give your IELTS again and meet the criteria. Okay, but just clarify if your region accepts the English waiver based on your 12th English mark. I think you need to have somewhere between 65% and above, but please contact your regional team and clarify if you meet those conditions and get the waiver based on that. Else you will have to meet the condition by giving an IELTS. And how many questions are asked in the interview and what type of questions? Great. So this is what I showed, the key areas of assessments. So we will be talking about the fundings, your course, why you selected DMU, why UK, your future plans, your accommodation plans. So roughly there are about 6 to 7 main questions, but we would also have additional follow-up questions if you feel that your research needs more in-depth research, or you lack some clarity during your session, then you can expect more follow-up questions from the answers that you're going to give in the session. So to answer that, there are roughly 6 to 7 main questions, and there might be follow-up questions, depends on what answers that you're giving. Right, and how many chances do we get at the credibility interview? Well, it's going to be one chance. That's a lot of pressure, I know. But having said that, if you feel that you need more research, or if it is something that could be clarified within a callback, then we usually arrange a callback after your main session. And if that's clarified, then you're going to get your outcome based on your performance on the callback and the main session. So it's going to be one chance. So ensure that you're well prepared before you book your slots. And again, don't take these as a setbacks. You are always invited to apply for the upcoming intakes as well. So if you have done proper research, then I don't think you need to look for the second chance here. So we'll clear it in the first go. And can I defer my admission until September? What's the process to defer my admission? So if you're someone who have applied, received your offer letter for this intake, but wanting to defer, then I would advise you to contact admissions department. You can directly email to admissions@dmu.ac.uk. Or if you're someone who is in touch with the regional team, then I would say please directly email the regional team, make them aware that you're deferring so that they can help you with the process. And is there a CAS deadline? So I think you might have already received the deadlines posted in the comment box. So please refer to that. Just bear with me a second while I redirect to the link. Okay, so the link that I shared you, the current deadline for your offer letter is going to be okay. The final date for credibility interviews to be conducted is going to be 21st, and that can be extended till 9th of Jan. And your final date for you to send your conditional documents to receive your offer letter is going to be 19th of December. And then for your final date for CAS issuance is going to be 16th of Jan. So all these dates are clearly mentioned on the website and the link that I have shared with you. So please refer to that. So I have passed my final interview and paid 50% of my fees. Should I repeat the credibility assessment again? Okay, if you're someone who have already passed your final interview, then you are not required to reapply for your assessment. So if you have completed your assessment, then congratulations, you have also paid the 50%. Your next step is for you to apply for your CAS. All right, just follow the instructions as given on your pass outcome letter, share the documents with the regional team, and get your CAS in time. The next question, do we need a detailed answer for why UK and why DMU for our studies? Okay, so it depends on what we say as detail. So when talking about DMU and UK, it's based on your research and what is the reason that you have selected that country or the university. So when talking about DMU, try to do your research on the facilities. Some students would also mention about the sports facilities. They might be interested in football, or it could be cricket. They always talk about the clubs and the societies that are there at the universities. So what I would advise is when doing your research about the university, research on the facilities, research on the location, what type of city life that you will be thrown at, and also any clubs or societies that are there within the university. All right. And when talking about UK, why you have selected that country, if you're someone who have compared other countries as well, then give out your reason why you considered other countries and what made you put UK as your first priority. Okay, so it is important that you mention all these reasons in the session. Is there a mock credibility assessment opportunity? Unfortunately, no. We do not conduct any mock credibility assessment, but you will have multiple sessions like these going on every intake, and you can always reach out to your agent if you feel you need help with preparation. Okay, I know that your agents would be aware of these questions, so they would be happy to conduct a mock if you need it. But like I said, the questions are going to be straightforward, and there is no right or wrong answers in these sessions. So just these answers are going to be your own personal experience. So that's a no from the university. But yeah, you can always reach out to your agent if you feel like you need help with the preparation. Great. So I think that's all the questions for now. Okay. Right. So thank you so much for joining us today. And we look forward to welcoming and receiving you on campus. If you're someone who have applied or considering applying for your credibility, then all the very best. Be relaxed, be calm, and give your own answers. Okay. So all the very best. Thank you.